And 10 seconds later, we are back, and we're going to jump straight into red with the first card. By the way, every time her name comes up, I'm just going to call her Bird. So, um,
I think most of the audience will get the reference.
yeah,
Yeah.
Summer Festival date, Bird. For each of your other music characters, this gains 500, and it's a heal. So this is Electron Diva Miku, um,
Yeah. Literally. That's right.
and Electron Diva Miku is mediocre.
I
I mean,
mean,
healing's nice.
you bring her out early enough. These kinds of cards could potentially wreck face. You are
I have no idea what Bird waifu deck has, but does it
It's the other.
have?
It's actually I took
it's
a
one of
bird
the
waifu
more.
deck to nationals.
It's pretty potent.
Um, Probably not my best choice, but I didn't have much else going on at the time.
Fair
Um,
enough.
um, I read the restanders in it for the healing. For my heal,
Hmm.
I usually do 3 healers, 3 non-healers when I do a deck. So they stick with the theme. Give me something else I can play makeshift disguise on. I don't mind this card at all.
Yeah.
It has some staying power. It's going to be my heal slot, and well, unlike I can makeshift disguise it if there's a Marika in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Big beast
Given that
killer.
we've basically jumped
Potentially
straight to
early.
the Kotori waifu deck in discussing this card, I think
Yeah.
that talks about how viable it is in the meta deck on its own, but it
Yeah.
seems fine in the waifu deck.
Well,
Yeah.
there's just so many. There's so many better red healers.
Damn it, I
There
said her
are.
name. I said her name. Bird. Anyway, oh, this is why we got you on the show. We've got a
You mean both of us?
yeah, I'm speaking to both of you here, honestly. Summer Festival date, Hanukah Kosaka. It's another heal, and one cost,
Okay.
discard a card from hand, start up. This gains 35, a sizable amount, and when the battle opponent becomes reversed, you may chuck it on top of the library.
Before Rin jumps in and tries to say anything, people who are listening. I'm buying the signs.
You're buying the signs. Good job.
Oh,
I'm
Most.
actually enthusiastic. I just sound really down because it's early.
well, this. If it did not have the name Hanukah on it, I would run this as my red healer.
Yeah, it seems like the best red healer for
Yeah.
sure. Kind
It
of
is
like
that top decking is definitely a great ability to have at level 3, if not card kick or something like that. Just being able to potentially guarantee damage for a subsequent attack is really nice.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it seems good.
And also preventing certain characters from being encored for the next turn if you couldn't finish them off right then and there. Cough, cough,
Mm.
Monica.
this is. I mean, for my competitive deck plan, this is my other level 3 to go with Nozomi.
And
Um,
is this bias at all, or is it?
Actually, no. I would have ran this if this was Umi, and if you guys don't know, I really don't like Umi at all.
Yeah, I've picked that much up.
She slapped my girl. I mean,
Yeah,
I would have. Yeah, we're just gonna leave that alone. Um,
Totally
but
not a spoiler, guys.
I'm just sold on that second ability.
Yeah, guys,
yeah, no,
it's really,
it's
really
good.
nice. I like it.
I'd
It's
rather,
like, mm,
I can swing with her for turn, the first attacker, put the second one on, top deck it, swing with Nozomi. If I don't trigger, they have to have a cancel on that second card. And then I'm going to stick them for 3 with the clock kick.
yeah, it's pretty much the level 3 red gorilla from Nisekoi, and that card is great. So
Yep. And I
Slightly
run her in
different.
my English
Like
Isekoi, so.
I like how this works because it doesn't require you to rest 2 characters like most of these cards usually would. Nor is she Climax combo reliant. So she's
mm,
very flexible in competitive level builds that typically would require you to rest the back row to do something.
yeah, that's fair. All right,
And I'm
let's.
just going
Yeah,
to say, she also looks beautiful on this card.
yeah, it's a very pretty
My
SP.
wife looks gorgeous here, so that's just icing on the cake. This is one of the cards I squealed like a little girl when it came out.
I thought that was most Hanukkah cards.
uh,
I
to a degree, but there's another one in the set I screamed louder for.
think I know what you're thinking. I can. I was like, yes. Well, this card's definitely worth also hyping over. It's not as much as a card that's going to come up in a little bit, in my opinion.
And that
Yeah.
next card, is it this next one? Summer
Not,
Festival date, Umi Sonoda.
no, you'll see, okay?
Okay, I will see. So it's a 3/2, come to play, check top deck. If it's a music character, you ping them for 1. And second ability, starter, 1 cost, rest 2 of your music characters, murder at level 0.
But I totally needed that at level 3, right?
I think it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the on-play potential ping is nice.
Right.
That's basically it.
I debated when this one came out. I was not a happy camper and said some not nice things about it. Looking back, it really provides an interesting choice with the, if I remember correctly, the Happy Maker coterie. That when it comes into play, pay 1, do a shot, or you can
Yeah.
just not pay the 1 and possibly do it. And so I think that's more of how you feel as a player going into it, between which of those you would
Yeah.
play.
So you basically could have a potential burn that does not have an additional cost or an additional cost guarantee burn.
Right.
I
Or
think
why
that-
not both? I don't know.
This is probably better than the bird. Just that cost.
I
is
would
very
pick the
bad.
bird because the
I-
bird's
I
better
like
than
the bird.
Umi, but, you know.
As expected. Can I just say that her voice
I
is
mean,
terrible?
I like the guaranteed burn for the additional 1 stock. Like, unless I know for sure that my opponent's top card for some odd reason is, or that I know for sure that the top card on my deck is the character. Then it's like, yeah. But usually it's not really a way to guarantee that set with a on-play 3500 oversized over 0 top checker.
Yeah.
Like, it's not easy ways to really guarantee that. Oh, I guess there's a 2-1 Nozomi from Volume 2 to help guarantee that beginning of main phase, check the top card, leave it there or put it on bottom. And a dowsing, I guess a dowsing assist to front. So,
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna maintain the opinion that it's fine, but
yeah.
it seems like most people here who actually play Love Live don't like it, so there's an actual opinion for you. Best clothing, Hanukah Kosaka. I'm gonna let Audrey and you and Rin cover this one. I'm just, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yes,
side
this
note,
was the card my neighbors could hear me squeal when it got debuted.
Mm-hmm.
I will go as far as to say that my friends accused me of having affairs with Bushy Road personnel to get this card created. The Hanukah waifu deck has one horrendous hole in it. It had no brainstormers. I
just
would have
had no
taken,
real
I would have taken a brainstorm that just flipped cards, just to have a Hanukah brainstorm, and then they're going to give me salvage, +1 salvage, and then +500 to make my Door to Dreams Hanukah an 8/5 possibly, because I'm going to run 2, or probably have 2 of these out. Yeah, I could go on for hours about how wonderful this card is.
this is just great. Like,
I'll be honest, like,
even-
I picked you guys on this show so I could just kick back and take a break during the Hanukah section. Anyway, blatant joking aside, yeah, it seems really good for the Hanukah waifu deck.
But salvage is definitely great overall. Like, even if not in a Hanukah waifu deck, it's
Oh, yeah,
still
it's
good as a decent
As a
toolbox
brainstorm.
card. Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as your now multiple 1/0 brainstorms, but
Yeah, of course. But sometimes some people might feel the need to look in the waiting room when the deck is pretty thin.
yeah, I guess that's true. Or they could, just
Yeah, even I'm not going to try to force it into a non-Hanukah deck.
Right. I suppose. Okay. Fair enough.
Yep. Okay, let's move on
But
then.
salvage is overrated anyway, right, guys?
Yep, pretty much.
Speaking of salvage,
Sweets Fairy, bird. Bird. Bird effect. Really? This is like a Ricky, except you only get birds from your waiting room.
Yeah.
That's the big downfall. This would be one of the best cards printed in this set by a
If it
long
weren't,
shot.
if
This
it
would be
weren't for
one
the
of the
fact that it
best
was,
cards printed in Weiss if it was
yeah,
like.
it would.
But
It's name limited.
With Bird, you're going to change into most things that you're going to do with the 1/1. You're trying to change into that 1/1 to set up shenanigans with makeshift disguise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could salvage the new 1/0 we'll talk about later, but it's
Yeah.
good, but I just don't think it's the godsend to that deck.
No, definitely not.
I'll probably run 2 in my coterie build.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, but
I mean, it definitely helps with keeping up the advantage game overall in a Kotori deck. But that's
From deck is way better than from waiting room for this effect.
oh yeah.
But yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I guess on the positive side, if you run the 2/1 Wonderful Rush Climax combo with Bird, that I can tell you from experience, eats your hand horribly.
Yeah, so this could help. This could help stabilize
It was
things.
probably my demise at Nationals last year, but so maybe that would offset that a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm naturally hesitant to anything that clocks myself.
I mean, early game is. Okay.
I don't know. Because, you clock yourself once or twice to play this card. That might be the amount of damage I beat you by at the end of the game.
Just remember, card advantage lasts for the whole game.
True.
But hey, it's not a plus if you lose.
It totally is a plus if you lose.
I might put that as my new quote on Pojo now.
It's still a +1 if you lose. Just yeah.
Discussion over.
You can totally make the right play and still lose. Like that's a thing.
That is Weiss.
Anyway.
We'll go Weiss Schwarz.
Oh, that's every card game.
Okay, sure.
So
yeah,
I'm kind of torn on this one for a final verdict. I can't wait to get it and play it. And, maybe I'll be its biggest fan by the end of the month, but
it's pretty good. Like you'll eventually see you have way more cards in hand
it
than you should.
It definitely has value.
Bird.
Bird's
Best clothing, Bird. Oh wow, that's a really good card. It's a 3/5, 0/0, so you know it's gonna have a quote unquote drawback. When you play this, mill 2. If there's a climax that you milled, then it rests, and it's got encore. This card is fantastic.
I like this. Like it's similar to the same on playability as the Mach 00 Mach 4K from the previous set. Helps milking the deck, potentially stay there for a good amount of time.
Mill.
The upside of this, with with a lot of the Coterie waifu decks, is you're always trying to get the 1/1 in your waiting room. This gives you 2 shots to do it.
Yep.
Oh my god. I'm sorry guys, I just read the post on foreign about John Warden cheating and I feel abandoned.
My thoughts on that is I'm gonna miss being entertained.
John
Lord and
Warden
Savior
aside.
has forsaken us.
Cry.
Yeah, no, back to actual relevant things. I would run this as the 3/5 of choice in a lot of decks.
Yeah. And Cosmic Card Fixing for red, definitely.
Absolutely.
It's a good card.
Alright, next card. Best Clothing Umi Sonoda. 105k. It's a field counter.
Yeah.
But you have to pay 1 in addition to just sacking it, which is worse than just sacking it.
But it's only 500 boosts.
Yeah, as opposed to 1/5, which is what you'd get from just sacking instead of paying 1, but
Yeah.
I still think having to pay,
Having to pay
it's,
1, yeah.
It's a threat of activation. Like, you leave it
Yeah.
on the field, your opponent is going to be hesitant, which is enough,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, you're probably going to get some value out of this regardless, but I just don't like the fact you have to pay 1 stock.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, but the stock hurts.
No,
And
like,
probably,
Go on.
in most decks, you're going to have your 1/0 spots occupied with other things that are more interesting.
Yeah.
In practice, these cards tend to be a lot better than they seem because your opponent's going to be... It makes your opponent think, and when your opponent has to think, they make mistakes, and when they make mistakes, you win. So,
Right.
Yeah.
I love the 2/1 Hagro from Kantai that does a pretty similar effect, but it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, she's a 2-1 herself, though, so yeah, I guess the
there's a
difference.
1-0 as well, isn't there, in Kansai? That
Yeah,
one's pretty
the
good as well.
original Hot Girl.
I know Signum runs a 1-0 in Vivid Red that does the same thing that's free.
I hate that card so much.
But yeah, there are better. You probably don't want this on your field anyway, as Audrey said.
It's fine for an Umi waifu deck, I guess. Speaking of Umi waifu deck cards,
Ha 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 ha.
Sweet's Fairy Umi Sonoda for each of the other red characters. This game's. Is this actually a girlfriend spoiler?
Yeah, you know what? I was actually looking at this card. I was like, has Lola become girlfriend now?
It's not actually an Umi waifu card like I thought. It's more
It's
like
No.
not. It's more of a second year centric card.
it's a
And
mono red. Yeah.
as much as I dislike her, it's very much in flavor.
It is.
Yeah, it's a fatty if you're playing a mono red deck, which you probably aren't. Mono color seems bad in this set.
Unless it's
Yeah, because it's gonna in the Yumi waifu deck, it's gonna be fighting
You
against
need
your
yellow.
1-0 brainstorm.
You need yellow.
yeah, having 1-0 brainstorm so clutch.
So I'm pretty I think this is an average card.
Yeah.
It's also bombable, unlike the girlfriend one.
Yeah, it had potential. For some reason, some people speculate that it might have been 500 for every music, heaven forbid.
No,
Like that would have been a bit stupid.
this is 500 too big for that archetype anyway. Oh, it is. I'm just gonna take a quick break so you guys take over for a sec.
For sure. So let's move on to the next card. So our Sweet's Clothing card, Hanukah. And we have an auto ability. When this card comes into play, you may discard 1 to salvage a music character. And she's a level 2 reverser.
Alright, seeing as Alpha's gone, I'm going to be speaking for a bit. I don't like it. Hand fixing is nice.
It is
Actually, because it's a costless hand fixing. That's really nice.
Well, she's 1 cost on her own.
But
so.
the problem is you got to pay to play her, and level 2 bombs are generally meaningless because most people don't play big level 2 cards.
If anything, you're playing competitive level, you should be the one with big level 2 cards.
It's just I don't see this card being very effective.
The fact that this card could be run over by even level 0s is pretty bad.
Yeah.
This is the one I cried when I saw.
Yeah.
I've tried to squeeze it in things. No.
It's just
I'm
what
I'm
are you
getting
looking?
my 4 foils to complete the everything set, and they're gonna sit in my binder, and that's about it.
It's just like, what are you looking to reverse with this card? Like, what threats are there that you're concerned that you need to kill with a level 2 reverser?
Now, it depends. Now, this might be a meta choice.
I suppose.
I would probably get more use out of this in my locals than you guys would. Because Danville does tend to play a 2-1, but I have so many 2-1s that'll just beat their 2-1s anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're playing competitive level, and you are opting to play a level 2 game to begin with, you're probably playing something that can already be 10,000 plus base.
Right.
They shouldn't need to have to purposely leave a slot empty just to have something die along with you.
Now, if her name was Sweet's Fairy Vita, and she belonged in the Nanaha set, this would be great.
Okay, okay.
Well, I think that's it for this card. Moving
Yeah.
on
In
to
fairness, you can also kill level 1s with this, so it's not totally dead. It's
Oh,
just not the greatest.
okay.
but you already have 2-1s that are bigger than their level 1s, hopefully.
Hopefully, you say, but don't you run terraformers?
Yeah, I know I'm the exception, but that's a different point.
That is a completely different thing.
But yeah, as Will said, we're gonna move on. Yeah, sorry for that. Summer Festival of Everyone, Hanukah Kosaka. What does this do? 1-0, 1 cost with a Climax combo. With this in the front row, it's a +2. Search your library for up to 1 level 1 or lower music character, put on any slot on the stage, and shuffle your library.
I like it.
I think it's fine. What you're doing is searching a 1-1 with it.
You got
And that 1/1 can be the Umi from before. It could be a 1/1 assist. It could be, I don't know what Hanukah
The
has.
Door of Dreams, Hanukah from
one,
Volume 2.
yeah, 1/1. You're probably going to go pull the Door to Dreams. It gets plus 2,000 if all your characters are Hanukah, making our base 7/5.
I just like that it combos with a +2 soul and you get to fetch 3 characters out of your deck to make sure you can still swing 3 times.
The thing is, though, the Hanukah waifu deck, you're probably going to run gates. And that's where your 1/1 gate combo is.
Is that the salvage combo?
Yeah, from the first set. The 1/1 hang-on core Hanukah.
I would at least playtest this. You might find it's better.
Yeah, I would definitely try to look into using this in.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
it's
writing it
worth
off
looking-
by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like, If
Right.
it was a one stock one, it would be in my deck immediately.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
And obviously a gate, definitely, but the +2 soul kind of scares me off.
Plus, this also will never scare you off unless it's being played against you. It is a fabulously overpowered card, but at the same time, it's just high risk, high reward. Got to know how to play it, so.
That is very true.
Alright, Christmas Day, Koto, bird. One cost
Best
when it's...
bird card ever.
I'll let you cover it, because I don't know what those events do.
Well, one of those from the first set, makeshift.
But I should let him read it. I should let him read
Yeah,
it.
you should finish reading here. Yeah,
Alright, I'll look it up.
we're jumping a gun here.
So you get to find either Makeshift Disguise or... Oh, I lost it. Makeshift Disguise or Marvelous First Dream from the waiting room and add it to hand, and then this gets 2k. It's a 1-cost Climax combo with
A 2K1.
2k ones. Okay. What do you think?
sorry.
No, go for it. I don't know anything
When
about
you're
this.
running the Makeshift Disguise build, one of the biggest problems, obviously, is getting Makeshift Disguise in your hand, bringing it back to your hand, and repeating. Because you become very dependent on it after a while. The fact that I get 7K salvage the hit linchpin of my entire deck is just freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
Right, so I looked up what Makeshift Disguise does.
it is great.
That seems pretty good, actually. So effectively, it's for people who don't know, you choose a bird and send it to memory. It's a counter, 1/0 event counter. Choose a bird, send it to memory. At the start of your next draw phase, put that character from memory onto any slot on the stage. It gets 2k for the turn. So it's
Time
like
machine
a
counter.
it's like a time machine counter that
Also,
saves
just
a
to point-
character.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Oh, also to point out, for players who are kind of new to all this, Coterie has a lot of cards that say backups cannot be used. This gets around that.
Because
And
it's
there
an
are some
event.
just absurdly evil coteries that you can just pull out of the fire if you have to, or if you just want to make them even bigger and uglier when they come back.
And screws around with any of those pesky on reverse effects late game. Because their character will no longer be there.
Actually, Rin, that's the whole reason I took Coterie to the Nationals last year, is I was terrified of Marika, and I thought if I could makeshift disguise Coterie out of the way, I might not get double attacked.
That's a really good point, actually. Like, removing a character from the field is just a really powerful effect. It stops on reverse effects like restands and
Clock kicks.
clock kicks, yes. And this one also provides you advantage, unlike a lot of the other effects people play just to get characters off the field, like the Ghost Chitoge counter and stuff like that. Which are just effectively costs to pay rather than actual upside, which is what this is, I guess. My worry is that having played with bonds to events, you'll find the events clog your hand. I just don't think Makeshift Disguise is a card that can really clog. You're going to be able to use it.
Yep.
So what does Marvelous First Dream do?
It's basically Critical Chop from Milky Homes. It's a 2/0 event. Pick one of your characters, gets 3,000 power, and you when you pick one character, could be the same character if you want to. You give it the ability of, if it's reversed, you make it a lower reverser, equivalent to X level.
That seems pretty good, actually.
So you can make something big, and you can make something a bomb. Easy.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty decent value card. So I pretty much looked at this card, I was thinking, but now that you guys explained it, I'm on board. I think it seems like a really good card. 2K1 Soul's good too. So yeah, I'm
Hillary
on
would
board
also
with this
be
bird.
because of this card and makeshift disguise and such. I would probably say she's the strongest waifu deck in Love Live. They've been working on her from set 1 on.
That is a bold statement.
And this is coming from a Hanukah player, yes.
Yeah, I was about to say. There's no chance of bias there. So next card is another 1/1 Umi. This one's the retarded one. 1/1 6K. Experience. If the level 3 Umi from the last boost is in the level zone, this is a 7/5. And it has the Marika effect. If you've got a Climax, what's Hidden Feelings?
It's a gate.
So it is just Marika. If you've got a gate in the Climax zone, you can choose a character in your waiting room and return it to hand. The issue with this is that you absolutely need that specific level 3 Umi as opposed to just a level 3 Umi, which is a much easier thing to accomplish. But if you do, you have a 1175, which has a Climax combo that history has proven to be quite good. I forgot that you guys don't like Umi, so
no. Okay, Audri perhaps, but
in the Umi waifu build, you're going to run 4 of the Happy Maker Umis anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're coming to play early effect and salvage. So pitch one, give yourself a really good 1/1 beater in red, and a really nice Climax combo at 1. I can't argue with it at all.
These will actually stay on the field for a good while too because of how big they are. Unlike the 1/0 Mariko that you were comparing this with, who we must really say is on the fragile side of things because of her 5K, possibly, I don't know, maybe 55 in, I don't know, like she's small. This would probably not get reversed so easily on subsequent turns.
Yeah, I think this is a fine card for the Umi waifu deck, obviously. And I think we can leave it at that because that is all it is good for.
Yeah.
Evening Breeze Girl, Bird. 2/1 level assist, and it's also a change. My pet peeve is assists that change into level 3s when they don't come back to field. Like it wastes a change. It wastes a back row. But no, it seems okay.
I'll throw her in my bird deck as a level assist and call it done.
Yeah. And it's got the option of changing.
And if you really need the early bird.
It's actually very interesting that all the changes so far have been the pay 2, send the changer to clock.
Yeah.
I've not really found that interesting so much as a.
It will be a net heal of 0 because this card will go into clocking and the bird would come out and heal this away. But it's nice to have as a way to get an early beater. Unlike the typical pay to put this card into waiting room and then discard a card from your hand as well.
LL also traditionally is mostly put card and clock from set 1.
Yeah, it was starting with SIF that started going back to the put things in a waiting room change.
Right.
Set in general just makes 2/1 changers kind of iffy sometimes because you could have just refreshed and not having a ditch to get the target into your waiting room means that you can potentially just miss all the time.
Yeah.
Moving on, I guess.
Yep.
I suppose.
Sorry, I had to address something for a moment. But yeah, next card, Christmas Date Umi Sonoda. 2/1 pumps level 3s or higher for 2K.
In front of it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Because Umi has an advanced summon. When it's placed from hand to stage, look at the top card and put it on either the top or into the bin. It's pretty solid.
The bin.
Yeah, it's good in an Umi waifu deck because again, level 3 advanced summons
are nice.
Yeah, like this is optional. Like you don't need to have this with level 3, but it makes your level 3s quite indomitable.
Pretty much.
Pretty
Pretty
solid.
much. I mean, Umi level 3 salvages character when it comes into play on the early summon. You just fill your, if you've got enough stock, you fill your front row with them and go to town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nothing much more else to say here.
Yeah.
You guys make really big Umis at level 2 and wreck face.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for next card? I'm ready for next
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
wonder why.
All yours.
card.
Go
I
for
love
it.
this card.
Go for it.
So,
Christmas Day Hanukah Kasaka.
Mm-hmm.
For each of your other music characters, it gains 500.
Oh.
so she's
When
a
this-
9,000 base.
Yep.
Oh.
217k.
Yeah.
Yo.
Pay 1 stock. When the battle of this opponent becomes reversed, you may pay the cost. Choose 1 Happy Maker Hanukah. In your waiting room, put it in your hand. I love beaters that get bigger when it comes to other, of the character type. And Hanukah, Happy Maker's probably going to be the backbone of most of the Hanukah waifu decks. So I get a 2-1 beater. I get to salvage my level 3 Hanukah. I just win. Just it has win written all over it in my world.
Yeah, in a Hanukah-centric build, this is definitely a nice option to have to set up for the level 3 game if necessary, outside of other salvage options. And it's pretty decent beater alongside an image change Hanukah from Love Live Volume 2, which gives 1,000 power to all Hanukahs.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely well appreciated in that kind of build. No place outside of that.
This is where I wish the foil was instead of the 2-1 bomb.
I'm gonna assume you guys gushed for a while. I was just touching up some stuff. Okay, so did you guys
Also-
read the card?
Yep, we
we
already
did.
covered all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, on a downside note on this card, everybody else has cards where they're making things and cooking in the kitchen. Why does Hanukah be the one carrying all the bags?
Cause she's clumsy. I don't know.
She's the one who starts it all. She goes gathers the supplies and everyone
Is-
follows alongside her. Everyone follows up by doing up kitchen preparations. There we go.
We'll go with that.
Then I
because
feel like I should be carrying his bags for. I just feel bad.
It's fine. So are we all good to move on to the next one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Snow Woman, Umi Sonoda. Global 500. Tap 2 characters to give an Umi 1k. Umi.deck.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. The Sea Dog deck.
One moment, you guys take over for a second.
Alrighty, so Umi.deck. I
Yeah.
think that's all there is to say about the card, so we're just
Pretty
gonna
much.
move on.
Pretty much.
Now here's an
Rest,
interesting one.
you're going to use the rest at level 0, and then you can use it in the back row when you rest your Umi Brainstormer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Global 5 is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
Alright, next card. It's
Next card.
White Christmas Bird. When this card is reversed in battle, you may choose one of your characters, and that character gains
No
1,000
way.
power.
It's
Brainstorm.
when a character,
Sorry,
another
when,
one of your characters.
when another one of your characters. And then it's a pay 1 Brainstorm for every hit. You get to assign 2,000 power to a character. This card is more well known as being from Nisekoi.
Yes, it's pretty much the exact same text.
Yeah, so the Nisekoi one has one more trait, so that card is objectively worse.
But the other side, what this kind of card, is interesting. Where it could force, yes, it overall makes your front line a bit smaller overall, but if you look at it in the long run, your opponent has to start thinking about, okay, where can I attack and make sure that I can still reverse other characters when that 1,000 power gets assigned to another character that might get that I'm only like 500 or so over.
This card is generally better in decks with strong advantage engines and good ways of building hand, where you can afford to lose 1 or 2 fights in order to get
I see.
over something else.
I suppose, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm looking at this one kind of having real mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, it's
So
very
it's actually
personal.
fine.
It's a bird brainstorm, I guess it does that, but with makeshift disguise, I'm not intending on losing anything.
Yeah,
you're-
I'm saying this probably has more purpose in a more general build. If you have for example, maybe if you run, I don't know, the green 1-0 LE bag combo, for example, and try
Right.
having advanced engine that way, you can let one of your LEs like get reversed because they're small. Then you give another LE a 1,000 power, possibly making that harder to run over, or just can't be run over at all.
Yeah. Well, that's basically all there is to it. Like, you have to be willing to take trades when you're running this card.
Yeah, it definitely will keep the opponent on their feet and will have them thinking. And as Alf mentioned earlier, if the opponent has to spend time thinking, they're probably going to make mistakes.
So, the next card, it's Taisei Girl, Hanukah Kosaka. I think it's bad. I mean, okay, it can get up to 5/5. It can get up to 5/5, and running the previous Brainstormer, it could be a 7/5/0/0, and that's hilarious. 8K with the Brainstormer, but that's meaningless.
When you're going into a Hanukah deck, until you hit level 2, and you're intent. Well, no, actually, never. Wait a minute. What am I even saying?
Yeah,
You
Well,
never
you're
intend to
saying,
losing a
Your opponent's
character.
not going to
Yeah.
attack this
No.
last.
You're just playing all power all the time.
Yeah,
This is very
Hanukah
counterproductive to everything she does.
It is.
The important part about this card is that I've learned from it that the kanji for umbrella looks like an umbrella.
Ha 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 ha.
Don't mind me, I just got back and I saw you on this card and I thought this card is bad. Why are we still on it?
Yeah, just
We
continue.
just got on in. I've already hit
Oh,
next
okay.
on my computer.
Fair enough.
Next.
On a snowing night, Umi Sonoda. Similarly bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run it in, give
Why-
something 1k, and then it acts as if you have that Kotori, that bird. I
It's
assume
more of a
just talked about.
temporary fix, temporary version of that. Nothing to say. Nothing more
Not
else.
much to say. I guess Umi decks might want this. I don't
No,
think it's
No.
hurting for
no,
level
they
0.
don't. No,
I
they
doubt
don't.
they're hurting for level 0 anymore, but yeah, they
No.
used to be hurting for level 0. Back
Well,
when there was
then-
only like...
When I
two
first started
uses.
playing Magic, a player taught me that if you're playing cards that assume you're getting your butt kicked, you're getting your butt kicked. And this just seems to fly in the face against that.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily. Like bombs and a lot of cards that have this sort of effect. Like I play the Gorilla Brainstorm in Nisekoi. And I will assume my opponent has level 3s that I don't care about, and all I want to do is get one Marika big enough, in which case this is fine. Magic's,
Sure,
Magic's a bit
sure.
different, because like you can actually stabilize, and you can't really make a comeback from that. Whereas in Weiss, it's kind of like you can make sacrifices once you know you have the resources to sustain said sacrifices. So while I think that is that's a valid piece of advice, it's not necessarily applicable to this card.
True, but let me to kind of go with what you've said. Nisekoi, you approach the deck very different than you do Love Live.
Yes, definitely.
To be honest, like William and
well,
us were talking at the beginning of the day that, Love Live has a lot of average tools, it's got everything, but nothing significant. The thing is, the significant thing that it has is a power game.
Yeah, the power
That's
game
Love
is
Live's big
tremendous.
advantage. So anytime you're playing cards, I think that you're saying something positive happening if something loses outside of a bomb. I think you're trying to play against what the set does.
Yeah. Like, I suppose Spring offers a more different take on Love Live.
Right.
It needs more testing, obviously, to figure out if it's going to be effective or not. But as far as we know, the tried and true power lining of Love Live, it's definitely the town it's going for, and cards like this are definitely counterproductive for the most
Yeah, like
part.
don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that this card is not necessarily bad. It's
Yeah,
just
no. It just happens.
Actually,
more like
there are
around
other sets I'd love this in.
yeah, fair enough. Look,
I
I think
Love
wouldn't
Live
mind just a
helps.
Kantai.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
fair enough.
Kankai would definitely love it.
Kill my
You know-
Shimikazes, make this bigger. Okay.
Don't you have Shimikaze Kai anyway?
Well, on the opponent's turn though.
Oh, fair.
Like
I guess.
Kankai's all about like right now. Kankai, yellow green is more about gaining power on your own turn through Shimakaze Kai and shenanigans.
Yeah, I think this card is it's not good in Love Live, but it's not necessarily a terrible card.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. So next one is
Spell.
Yukata Pretty of these translations. It's an Umi. It's a 0025, and when you use a startup ability, it gains 2k for the turn. Now, there are two startup abilities that immediately come
Yeah.
to mind for the Umi deck. The first is with the Umi support we talked about earlier. You tap two characters given Umi power,
Yeah.
at which point this becomes huge. And the second is the Umi Brainstorm, because does Love Live have level 0 counter?
Yes, there's a mock
Yes.
from SIF.
Does that one give level?
No, it gets +1 soul if you're level 3 when you play it.
That seems actually really good, but
Yeah. But
that
it's
doesn't
not.
help.
It's not like no. It's not like White Blaze or Kaito from Hatsune Miku. I'm sorry.
So to that end, I don't think this is a particularly good card. Does anyone have objections?
If it were a 1, I'd like it, but not as a 0.
Yeah, I think that it's okay in the Umi deck.
Yeah.
Aside from that,
There's probably better things you could work with even in an Umi deck, in my opinion. You have plenty of. You have bigger options.
yeah,
Like
fair enough.
no brand girls Umi. 3,500 top check if Climax. If not a music character, caught that card.
Yeah, fair enough. So we'll move on. Angelic Nurse Bird.
Ooh.
It's a 1/0 global support, and when you place the level 3 bird from the last set onto the stage, if this is standing, you can tap it and another character to choose two music characters in your waiting room and put them to stock. So after you've already paid for the level 3 bird.
So basically, you could make Bird free.
Is that the one where you have to pay 1 and ping extra?
Yes.
Yes.
So
That is
basically
her.
you make it cost 1 less rather than free. Because
Right.
you're going to pay 1 extra.
Yeah.
Right?
If you go for the burn, which I assume if you're playing that card, yes, you're going for the burn.
Yeah,
Pretty
no,
much.
Some
seems
people actually
fine.
forget to do this with a certain Silica card.
Yeah. Why would you forget to do that? That's why you put the silica in the deck.
Just as a matter of ordering, though, it does mean that if you only have 2 stock and you play that level 3, you can activate this effect before paying the 1 stock to do the burn.
Same activation timing rules.
Exactly. So you can choose the ordering of these effects because they trigger at the same time. So you can actually now play the Happy Maker bird with 2 stock left.
Hey, Rin. Before I throw out my thought on this one, does the 1/0 Coterie Change Search card, is that Global 500?
Culture exchange.
Level
I mean, the
seven-
salvage. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that was the global 500.
It is?
The one where you use the change ability, pay 1, rest it to salvage a music character from the waiting room.
Right.
Yeah, that's a global 5.
That card pretty much makes this one irrelevant. irrelevant.
I have no idea how you guys remember all these cards, says the guy who plays Little Busters.
That's because Little Buzz is just like 3 relevant sets and like 6 cards relevant outside of those 3 sets.
This is true.
Yeah,
I still think it's impressive. So what's the verdict on this bird?
it's
I think it's just going to fill up my box.
it's okay. If you really are focusing your level 3 game on Happy Maker Kotori like that, I suppose it's worth looking into. But it's a little, I don't know, it might be a little too gimmicky, but it's okay. It's worth looking into.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It just seems like a very niche card.
Yeah, definitely niche.
Feeling happy eating with her fingers, Hanukah Kosaka. It's a 1/0 vanilla counter. I'd skip this normally, but is there a reason this is particularly good or bad?
Well, right now
Depends on which outfit and what color you want to see her wearing in your waifu deck. Because you got a 1/0 counter already in SIF.
Yeah.
I
like your
I don't really see. I mean, Hanukah, we already said that she should be carrying groceries, according to Bushy Road, and they're not letting her near any food here. So I'll stick with the cute SIF one.
I'm gonna be honest. I've had this exact dilemma before. I've had to pick a 2/1 blue counter between the promo Nadeko and the Niso Monogatari Nadeko. And I'll be honest, that was the hardest deck building decision in my entire
It is!
Monogatari deck.
I'm glad
like
it isn't just me.
Well, it's also 'cause, yeah,
This is in Weiss Schwarz, people.
Monogatari is not a hard set to build, I feel.
Oh no.
Also, just to toss out, apparently she also didn't learn how to cook from her mom. So they are like totally dissing on her cooking skills in this set.
Pretty, yeah.
I
I
mean,
bet you.
at least she knows how to make sweets and make pastries.
I've not watched enough to chime in on this discussion, but
No,
I think we can move on.
Yes, we could.
Yeah,
My wife, who has
Candle,
many talents, cooking is not one of them. I'll admit it.
sure.
Bacon,
Candle
though.
Knight Hanukah Kosaka is a 1045. If you've got 3 or more other music characters, it's a 5/5, which is nice, I guess. And when it attacks, you can shuffle 2 characters from your waiting room to the library, and if you do, it's a 7/5 for the turn.
It's the second ability basically is a level 1 version of the May uniform Hanukah from the first set. Level 0 reverser, and on attack, pick 2 characters, shuffle them back in your deck, plus 2k, whoop-de-doo.
I think the roles are completely different between this and that. I mean, they both
Oh, yes,
kill
definitely.
something, but
Usually, if I play the level 0 version, by the time I actually had to use that ability, I don't actually bother trying to kill anything with it to begin with. I use it more of a way to fix my triggers towards the end of a deck and guarantee that my 3 attacks return will be relatively clean.
that's a really good point, actually. Shuffling back non-trigger cards is definitely something that a lot of people would be overlooking when you think about this card. I still think that it's kind of mediocre
I just
because
like the 0/0 Hanukah more, just because it's a level 0 reverser, first of all, and it has value throughout the game, or has more value than this card in
Yeah.
terms of how long
No.
you can stretch its value.
that's fair. Like at least this is a costless 7/5 that will easily be 7/5, and you'll probably kill something with it. So you
Just
can
that she'll
think of
be
it as a 1-for-1.
she'll just be smaller on your opponent.
Yeah, it's still a decent 1-for-1. Just it doesn't
I-
catch all, and yep.
I absolutely love this card. I would have taken this if it wasn't a Hanukah. The fact that they made it a Hanukah and it fixes a huge hole in my waifu build is even better.
Oh,
As far as the one, I'm going to go back to the 0/0. With the Suicider, if you put the 2 cards back in, you can often 2-for-1.
2-for-1s?
Yeah, you kill their character.
Oh, you mean you kill a
because you're a
character,
3/5,
yeah, and
and
then
you're
they have
going to
to
get
run
their
into
other
a
character
bomb.
when they bomb.
Yeah.
So
no,
I
that's fine.
use that ability a lot. So
This one's a bit
and
different though. You're only going to 1-for-1 because this isn't a bomb.
that's true. But if I need an extra 2k power, it's there. It's a 1055 vanilla that, for what I think is kind of a minor cost, and actually there's definitely advantages to shuffling triggers and non-triggers back into the deck depending on what you need. You get an extra 2k.
You say that, but then you do it and you trigger 2 climaxes and you cry.
that's a whole different issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
I'm
typically,
nitpicking.
like, personally,
I'm nitpicking.
typically I don't use this kind of ability until I'm like 1 or 2 cards left in my deck.
Yeah, this is straight up.
Just simply because I like clean stuff. What can I say?
This is straight up a red vanilla with an additional good ability, so
Yeah.
I can't really fault it.
So
Right,
you would use it kind of with a similar reason as you would with the Araragi from Monogatari.
Which one? Oh,
So-
the TD one.
Yeah, the TD 105k.
Yeah, I don't play that because red is not good at level 1.
Her.
I don't know about this set, but it seems that yellow and green seems to be better at level 1, as far as I can see. Outside of waifu decks, obviously. Anyway, can we move on?
Yes.
Yep, so Angel of the Infirmary, bird. It's a 1045. When it attacks, you can pump another bird for 2k. Birds of a feather.
I mean, usually you would probably have a pretty decent field of pretty relatively big birds.
Big bird. Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
kind of part is kind of redundant.
Do you
Maybe
guys
it's
have
okay.
Sesame? Do you guys have Sesame Street in the US?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. That was why I laughed.
Okay. But yeah, it as a tech choice, it's decent in the Kotori deck. I will
Yeah,
not.
no doubt. Just give some extra power. It's costless attacker. It's
Unfortunately, I would run this in my Coterie deck in a heartbeat, but unfortunately they gave us a 1/0 Encore last set.
A clock encore at that.
Right.
That seems better.
That kind of killed this.
Yeah.
But for a common, you know,
It's not bad for a comment, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, in Weiss we can't judge by rarity.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
Like some of the best cards in Weiss are commons, but
True.
Curse you, Hibiki.
hey, she doesn't exist She doesn't exist in Japan anymore, so it's fine. Okay, next card. This one's so bad that not even you guys can defend it.
1-2 vanilla. Moving on.
1-2 with only one soul. One soul. That's awful.
I could call and the trade-off 1,000 more power.
But it's
Anyway.
the one time Hanukah cooks in the set.
Yeah, and I'm
Steak game pastries, yeah, sure.
Yeah, even I
Anyway.
can't try to salvage this card.
It's just
No.
not the greatest. Oh, I'm sure you can salvage it. Just no.
Well,
Yeah, you could
I
salvage
can't make a
it.
case
You
of
know
why
what
I would play it at all.
There's
Yeah,
no-
that's fair. Because it doesn't even have 2 soul. It's just bad.
There's no room for
Yes, it is.
Appreciating the food, Umi Sonoda, 2/2, retarded dot card. If you have 2 or more Happy Maker Umis in your level zone, this gains 4k, and then it gains an additional 1k of a full field. Okay, I don't even need you guys to tell me this is bad. Firstly, Umi decks run yellow. It's much better to have yellow-red. Second, really? Really?
Your
11-5?
Happy Makers need to be in play at this point.
Yeah,
The
pretty
best-
much.
The best part, though, is that this requires you to have 2 of an
Two.
early play level 3 in your
At
level zone.
2.
And we all know how much value that card has on play, salvage, and getting additional 1,000 power for having 3 or more other music characters. Not to mention, we have the 2/1 front to level 3 and higher plus 2k boost. Yeah, this card's kind of a moot point.
It's funny, but it's bad. Like, you get it off, everyone laughs, but it's the same as really... It's just really not good. Okay, so next one's a bird. I'm not gonna say the name, that's kind of weird. During battles involving this card, no player can use backup from hand. So, like Audrey said earlier, you can use makeshift disguise with this, I guess.
Makes your disguise as your best friend in a Kokari deck.
The second effect from this is when it's placed from hand to the waiting room, you have to drop a character card. If not,
From hand to
dies.
stage.
Yeah, from hand to when it's put from hand to stage. Sorry, you have to drop a character card. If you don't, then it dies. But it's a 2/10k, which I should have mentioned earlier.
You know what would be really nice if there was like a 1/1 or something that could change into this?
That'd be too strong, I feel.
Rin, what do you think? I mean, looking at this and looking at the 2/2 coterie with no backups from Volume 2, that gets bigger, I think, for music characters.
Did she, what did she start off at? Like 7,500 power?
I thought she started at 8.
Oh, 8?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you don't have the downside of having to discard the character.
Then we all know what wins here then.
Yeah, no,
I haven't played my coterie deck in forever because it became very popular around here, so I'm drawing blanks on some cards that are in it.
Fair enough. I was about to ask if that was the hipster blood coming out, but yeah, there's a reason.
It really is. After I came back from Nationals, I'm telling everybody, yeah, it did awful, and like 5 people built it out of our 20-player group.
What can I say? Bird's a likable character.
Word is the word. Alright, let's jump onwards then. Next
Event
card is
time.
Happy New Year. 1/0 event for Hanukah. If you have no Hanukahs, you can't play this. Choose a Hanukah and return it to your hand. Hanukah.
It's basically the Hanukah take on Hanukah/Red take on Super Idol Nico. Like just get back specific character.
Wasn't there a very similar card in the first set?
Yep.
The art was like
It was a 1/1.
Secondaries in a tree.
It was
yeah, it's
a
a
1/1.
1/1. But so this is objectively better in a Hanukah deck,
Oh, of course.
unless you're really hurting for stock outs. But you can salvage a stock out; you'll be fine.
Well, with the Brainstormer, you're not worrying about stocking out and the 1/1 beaters, and you have plenty of ways to get bad stuff out of your stock.
Oh, yeah.
Effectively,
And
yes.
this card just works. This
This
was another one I did a happy dance on when it was previewed.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Alright,
good.
next
It's
up.
good utility. What can I say? It's the same reason why you. It's the same
Pretty-
reason why you run Super Idol Nico-chan in a Nico deck. The
It's
toolbox.
great utility that doesn't make me pay stock that I'm going to use to change into Happy Maker.
Yeah.
Okay, so next card is Marvelous First Dream. Bird drew pictures of macarons. Choose a character, and that character gains 3k for the turn. Then a character gets level bomb ability. So when it becomes reversed, if the level of the battle opponent of this is equal or lower, then you may reverse that character. So it's 2-0 event, salvageable by that 1-0 we talked about earlier. What do you guys think?
It's critical chop. It's okay.
If Makeshift
Nothing to-
Disguise wasn't in play and in the
Yeah.
world, I'd love it. But
Yeah.
that Makeshift Disguise is going to take the spot you'd put this in the deck.
I mean, this is more of a. I mean, at least this one can be opened up to more. I guess it have to be Kotori specific for this one, at least.
True.
But I don't know. I feel like this kind of card is unnecessary at level 2 in most other builds. In most builds of Love Live, if going for a competitive route, you don't need the power, and we already talked about level 2 bombs earlier.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
is kind of a moot point.
Alright, so we'll just move on to the last card in red, then I guess cut for a sec. Happy New Year. This is an Umi card. Rest 2 of your standing Umis. If you do, deal X damage to your opponent, where X is the highest level among your characters, which will probably be 3 at this point.
Yeah. 2-3 for potential 3 damage.
Less
3 damage is great.
Less effective
Yeah.
than other burn event cards, in my opinion.
Like 3-3 burn 5.
I think 3 is like a number that will actually get through. And I know there's like
Right.
there's a terrible dance step card or something that's like a
Yeah, it's like 3-3 burn 5.
yeah. I think this is probably better because you can
It's just like a
customize it
promise.
to a degree.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I suppose it says you have rest 2 Umis. I suppose that both your back row are
If you
the Umi
have-
brainstorms.
If you need to burn 1, then you're in there.
Yeah.
Like being
Like,
customizable was a pretty
this
big
is
plus.
definitely obviously more in placing an Umi build.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think that being able to burn 1 instead of having to burn 5 is a really big upside.
Yeah.
The downside though is this is also competing for spots with the 2-1 Umi that shoots things off the stage in Volume 2. Or
I still don't know what that
Oh,
is.
no,
I'll take your word
it
for
was
it.
a 2-1 event, I believe.
yes,
Yeah, but she's like holding a
Oh,
gun.
right, the removal event. Yeah.
yes.
It competes with that definitely.
Yeah, fair enough. I
You
guess
want
this,
damage, or do you want to kill off a character?
this is not necessarily a card you absolutely have to play in every game, so you can run lower counts of it.
Yeah.
I can see a
But-
one of just for
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, isn't that how much people ran the old 3-3 shoot 5?
I've never seen it actually in a deck.
Really?
I've never
Oh,
seen
right.
that kind of card either in a deck. Maybe
seen it.
maybe once at a English Bushiroad official event, but not in real competitive play.
Shots fired.
Shots
Yeah,
fired.
yeah, no, that's fair. I think this card, it has some potential, but again, it's restricted to Umi builds if you want to be consistent at all. And it's an event, so it's inherently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got Climaxes.
Getting
And
2
then-
soul and 2K1.
Yeah, we can move on to blue afterwards.
Right. I'll be back in a